Good day. What would you like?
I heard you could use a helping hand at the forge.
I could. My last two hands, well, they're not worth mentioning. And what with the wedding coming up, the work is piling up. What do they call you?
Henry.
I'm Radovan. You should know, Henry. The blacksmithing isn't for everyone. Have you done it before?
Yeah. I basically grew up in the forge. My father was a swordsmith, and not just any. He even forged swords for the nobility.
For the nobility, eh? Well, that kind of experience will come in very handy for me indeed. As it happens, I have to forge a wedding present for young Lord Semine. A fine sword.
So you'll take me on?
Hold your horses. I'll have to try you out first. You could forge me a hunting sword as a test, so I can see if you can make a straight blade. That shouldn't give you much trouble if your father was a swordsmith, should it?
Sure thing. I can get started right away.
Great. Find some iron and get started then.
Iron?
You can't make a sword out of butter, but if you don't have your own stuff, you can get everything from the chest in my forge. I'm sorry.
Come on then!
Go over to the anvil and let's get started.
Someone better hold me back!
What's it to be, you wretch? Furnace is cold now. Give it a practice try. Some things, like swords, are too long to fit in the fire. You have to heat it up bit by bit. Try poking it around for a bit. Now get the furnace nice and hot. There's a lever above you. Give it a pull. It works the bellows. Temperature by the color, but you won't be able to tell when it's in the fire. You have to take it out from time to time and take a look. Try it out.
I heard you're in need of money, friend.
See? That's exactly the straw color we want. You've got talent, lad. Now heat up the whole thing.
Isn't it a bit early for that? It's ages till spring winter's back days. They don't collect tithes before then. I promised myself I wouldn't eat the last month. So, have you got any ideas? Well, if I did, I wouldn't leave it for
The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Try moving the sword along the anvil so you can get the hang of it. Now take the hammer and try hitting it a few times. See the sparks? That's the sign of a good strike. The more sparks, the better. Also, you can hammer with different degrees of power. A stronger hit will do more, but it'll tire you out faster. Try giving it a few blows, as hard as you can, so I can see how strong you are. Could you hurry it up a bit? That's got a nice ring to it. Of course, if it was all about hitting an anvil with a hammer, any dolt could do it. You've got to hammer the workpiece evenly. One hit next to the other. So what then? If you can't handle it, I'll have you make nails instead. Very nice. You're doing just fine. But when I say evenly, I mean it. A sword has two sides, like a lot of other things, including myself. Turn it over and continue on the other side. Nice. Now try forging it on both sides. The closer it is to being finished, the more it will take on the shape you want. It'll cool off soon anyway. It's cooled now. You can't do it all in one go. You've got to put it back in the furnace from time to time. Sometimes you've got to go there and back all day. But it's all part of the craft. Now, get back to the forge and heat it all up again, like before. Thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Hear that? Besides the sparks, you can tell a good strike by the sound it makes. The sparks are flying nicely. Well struck. See how it's taking on the right shape? That's how you can tell it's almost finished. Now, I've got a piece of advice for you. Hammer to a rhythm. When I hammer a piece to a beat, the work goes by easier. Sometimes I'll whistle to myself to keep the rhythm going. That's the ring you want. Some nice whistle. There you go. You've got it finished. All that's left is to temper it, and the sword will be done. The rest is just tweaking. Right. Let's have a look. Very nice work. Your father taught you the trade well.
He'd certainly be happy to hear that.
If you carry on hammering as well as you did today, you've definitely got a job here. Even so, keep in mind, it's all about making sure every strike does its job. That's why you can't let it get cold, or keep striking the same spot. If you work evenly, each strike falling right next to the last one, you can't go wrong. Got that? Or is there something else you want to ask about?
What good does it do me to whistle while I work?
It makes you work to a rhythm. You won't get tired so quickly, and the iron feels it.
How do I know a good strike from a bad one?
By the sparks that fly up. And by the ring. It rings out with a different sound when you do it right.
What's the right way to heat up the workpiece?
Do it till it turns the color of straw. Ideally, the color should be the same everywhere, if your forging's going to be even. The main thing is, don't work it cold. You just ruin it. But don't overheat it either. As soon as sparks start to fly off it in the furnace, take it out.
Why should I forge evenly?
If you keep hammering the same spot, you'll never finish it. You'll just fuck it up. But jumping from one end to the other ain't a good idea neither. You'd end up working unevenly. The best thing to do is aim each strike next to the one before.
How will I know it's finished?
Notice the shape. The closer you are to finishing, the more precise the shape it will have.
Thanks. That's all I need to know.
You can sleep in the chamber by the woodshed. And there's a chest where you can keep your things. And of course, you can use the forge anytime you want. Any questions?
Where can I get materials?
You can buy some essentials from me. But if you want to make a fancy sword with lots of ornamentation, you'll have to look elsewhere. This is just a village, you know. The locals ain't after luxury. And they can't afford it neither.
What now?
What do you think? You're not going to be idle. I'll find you some work to do right away. You're pretty good at swords, but what the locals really need is axes and horseshoes. Right. Here are some simple drawings that show what they're both supposed to look like. And some iron. You can get down to it right away.
Just like that? You aren't going to help me?
Sacre, lad. I chose you because you already know a thing or two. I'm not going to look over your shoulder all bloody day. You take care of these smaller jobs. Forge away as long as you're able, and then sell it all. Once you've made some coin and feel like being out in the open again, I'll give you some more interesting work. What are you here for, friend?
I'm still not really sure of myself in the forge. Could you show me again how it's done?
Why not? Better to practice now than fuck up an order. Why don't you forge me another hunting sword? Have you got what you need?
Yeah, I have.
Let's see what you can do then. Are you gonna get started then? furnace is cold now. Give it a practice try. Some things, like swords, are too long to fit in the fire. You have to heat it up. Try poking it around for a bit. Now get the furnace nice and hot. There's a lever above it. Give it a pull. Works better. You can tell the temperature by the colour. You won't be able to tell when it's in the fire. You have to take it out close and take a look. Try it out. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Try moving the sword along the anvil so you can get the hang of it. Now take the hammer and try hitting it a few times. See the sparks? That's the sign of a good strike. The more sparks, the better. Also, you can hammer with different degrees of power. A stronger hit will do more, but it'll tire you out faster. Try giving it a few blows, as hard as you can, so I can see how strong you are. That's got a nice ring to it. Of course, if it was all about hitting an anvil with a hammer, any dolt could do it. You've got to hammer the workpiece evenly. One hit next to the other. Oh, Jesus, it has to be even! Very nice. You're doing just fine. But when I say evenly, I mean it. A sword has two sides, like a lot of other things, including myself. Turn it over and continue on the other side. Nice. Now try forging it on both sides. The closer it is to being finished, the more it will take on the shape you want. It'll cool off soon anyway. It's cooled now. You can't do it all in one go. You've got to put it back in the furnace from time to time. Sometimes you've got to go there and back all day. But it's all part of the craft. Now, get back to the forge and heat it all up again, like before. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Sparks are flying nicely. Sparks. That's the stuff. See how it's taking on the right shape? That's how you can tell it's almost finished. Now, I've got a piece of advice for you. Hammer to a rhythm. When I hammer a piece to a beat, the work goes by easier. Sometimes sometimes I'll whistle to myself. There you go. You've got it finished. All that's left is to temper it, and the sword will be done. The rest is just tweaking.
I heard you could teach me something.
Sure, why not? If you pay me, I'll teach you a few of my tricks. What are you interested in?
There's a couple more things I'd like to ask about smithing.
Ask away.
Thanks. That's all I need to know.
It's about those two idiot hands of mine, Venser and Franzi. They drove off with a cart full of goods towards Semine, and they never came back.
Do you want me to find them?
Just so. But more importantly, I want to know where my cart ended up, and especially the cargo. Go to Semine and find out what the bloody hell happened.
Have you any idea which way they might have gone? I could have a look along the way. Maybe their cart broke down or something.
There's only one road to Semine that can take a cart. It leads from Takov to Troskovitz, and then to the south. But I've got a bad feeling they got up to no good in Semine.
Those two hands of yours, Venser and Franzi, what can you tell me about them?
Can't tell you much. They're wandering laborers. I don't think they wanted to stay here with me for long, but these days I can use all the help I can get.
Were they suspicious in any way?
No, they worked hard. They ain't no slackers. And I can't say that about everyone.
What was the cart carrying?
Bugger and bollocks. All sorts of stuff. I'd say Lord Semine wants to rearm his garrison with new equipment. There were some hunting swords, bastard swords, crossbow bolts. I also fixed the trigger on young Semine's crossbow. And some kitchen stuff. Sacks of charcoal, all sorts of things. There's a good month's work in that cartload.
All right. I'll get right on it then.
Go ahead. And if you find that pair of fools drunk, kick their asses for me.
Gladly. I'll kick some sobriety into them.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the place by the Sherovka stream.
What then? Has the water sprite been up to his mischief again?
Hail, Pilgrim! If it's good company you're after, that's one thing we're never short of.
What do you want here? Why don't you clear off already?
That's bloody deep. Wait, that's my Pebbles, my girl. I thought they killed you down by that pond.
What do you want here, you scoundrel? Why'd you barge in here?
That grey horse you have grazing here is mine.
What do you mean, yours? I bought it fair and square. I admit, it was only for a few groschen from some suspicious lad who found it down by the Rock Tower Pond, but that horse is not branded, so it belongs to me now.
She's my horse. I rode in on her from Ratai, in the retinue that was attacked down by the pond.
Right. You happen to need a new horse, and this one just happens to be the one you already own. Does it have your brand? It does not. So you are out of luck.
Look, it's just one horse. It's not that important, is it?
What do you mean, not important? I sell horses. It's how I make a living.
Ah, well, a horse here or there. What difference does it really make, eh?
It makes a difference to me, and to Lord Sameen as well.
Ah, well. Never mind then. Look at me.
I am looking.
Take a good look.
Aye, I am.
And what you see? Hmm?
A simpleton?
Who sold her to you?
I told you already. Some young lad. He wasn't from here.
What did he look like? Where'd he go?
You're a bit hasty, eh? He had black hair and a big beard. And he looked like he'd been sleeping in the woods. And his breath smelled like hell. But I couldn't tell you where he was headed.
Fine. I'll buy her from you then.
That's more like it.
That's a good price for pebbles. But I don't have that many groschen.
Why not choose one of our Samine horses, eh?
I'm sure you can take good care of Pebbles, but I just can't accept that price.
It seemed to me, at least it certainly...
I changed my mind.
So I says to him, "No, father, I haven't been fornicating. I've just been loving my neighbour."
Hey! You alright there, laddie?
Oh, you should have seen him. He went as red as a cardinal's hat. Aye. Hey, servant, bring some wine.
Me? I'm not a servant.
Oh, I know. Old Samine is saving supplies for the wedding later. But you didn't need to bother your wee head about that.
Look, I'm not from here.
Oh. I didn't give a fuck where you're from. You speak our language, do you not?
Well, Yurko, seems to me this fella doesn't know how to behave toward his betters.
The old man's hired hands are lacking in manners. We'll soon fix that. I'll get you.
Come on, Yurko!
Don't take any of this shite, Yurko.
What are you doing?
Stop beating me!
Why did you do that? Pasting.
Hey, stop fighting! It won't get me.
Shame on you!
Calm down!
Come on. Oh, you wee blasted!
The devil's name is fucking going on here?
What do you think's going on, Grandad? I'm teaching your people here how we do things.
Grandad?
Why, Grandad? An old captain like you probably still remember the flood.
True enough, Yurko. I am old. And I remember all sorts of things. Like you. When you were a little nipper running around here bare arse, with a ribbon in your hair, screaming out how you was Princess Sophie. Poor lad, hadn't a moment's peace from his big sisters.
What about that wine?
Who in God's name are you?
Henry. The Takoff blacksmith sent me. Radovan.
Blacksmith, eh? Then you'll have some explaining to do. Come along and never mind that fool Yurko. Young Samin's getting married, so we has to put up with his kin from Moravia.
We'll be needing a dozen geese. And I must tell Vashek to get 3 pigs ready for slaughter. And the carters will have to be sent to Yetchin to get at least a peck of poppy seed for cakes. And gingerbread spices. Oh, and wine, too. It's almost all gone, what we bought only last week.
Enter!
Sorry to intrude, sir. This is Henry, blacksmith Radovan's hand.
Oh, excellent. Dorothy, leave us now. Just make sure that there's plenty of everything so long as it doesn't cost too much.
But, sir...
Not another word! Leave us! So Radovan sent you alone. Who's going to unload it all? It's a whole cartload.
Yeah, Radovan sent me, sir, but not with the goods. The thing is, he's missing his cart, along with the carter in his hands.
What? But they never came here. Are you telling me they got lost?
Well, I couldn't tell you what happened to them, sir, but it's my job to find them.
There are all sorts of vermin roaming the countryside.
Oh, no
sir.
need to imagine the worst right off, gnarly. Anyway, I need the load from that cart, so saddle up your old nag and we'll ride out, Captain. I could do with a breath of fresh air. I've had it up to the eyeballs with counting geese and pies.
What about Henry here, sir?
Well, what about him?
We could use an extra pair of hands. You know how my shoulder's acting up. Yurko is shit-faced, and your son...
The older has work to do. All right, take Henry with you if you want. Just so long as he doesn't slow us down.
Thank you, sir. So, lad, you going with us? I hope you're happy about it.
Yeah. I'll be glad to help you.
Oh, you reckon we can't manage on our own?
No. That's not how I meant it.
Take it easy, son. I'm only yanking your pizzle. By the way, the fellas at the gate say you came here on foot.
Yeah, I did.
Christ above! And how are you going to ride with us? On the back of my saddle? You're a bit big for that, ain't ya? And I'm a bit too old.
You got a stud farm here, don't you? Couldn't I borrow one of your horses?
Aye. And then we'd never see hide nor hair of you, nor the animal again. We don't lend horses. But you're in luck. Our groom brought in a grey nag not long ago. Tell him you've got to ride out with us, and he'll give it to you for a decent price.
All right. Thanks.
Well, that should be that. Unless you've got any more questions.
No, that's all. But we should get going.
That we should. But it's getting pretty late. We need daylight for a search like that. Come back in the morning and we'll set out. If you want, stay here. You'll get a bit of grub in the kitchen and you can sleep in the barn.
The Lord be with you.
What can I do for you?
Show me your wares.
Take care then, and thanks for nothing. Yeah, maybe.
I'd like to buy a horse.
All you have to do is pick the right one, then hand over the groschen. I will take care of the rest.
To be honest, it's my first time buying a horse.
Then make sure to take your time and choose wisely. Your first horse is your first horse, after all. Of course, if you ever wanted to exchange it, there's no problem. I will simply deduct the price of your old horse from the new one. Have you taken a look at our horses? You do know they differ in more than just the colour of their coat, right?
I've already had a look at them.
Tell me then, which one do you like?
I changed my mind.
Don't cause any trouble. Got it?
What's that I am?
Good people, Jesus Christ be praised. You won't believe this. A whole village burnt to the ground. Hell on earth, just a few days' walk from here. You have to hear this.
Let's talk about the price.
Sure, why not?
I'll go for that.
Thanks, and have a nice day, friend.
Doing to our land. He wants to burn us all.
I'd like to do something about that price.
Sure, why not?
All right? I agree.
Pleasure doing business. God be with you.
Seize it or talk it.
Best wares on the market. Come and take a look. Onions! Strong onions! White, yellow, and red. Best on the market.
Greetings.
Greetings.
What do you have for sale?
Why are you wasting my time if you don't want anything then, eh?
Who's opening that?
You can't be here.
That's it. Go now.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Christ.
Out of his own castle. You see what that ginger fox Sigismund is doing to our land? He wants to burn it. Saul, go home quick and start praying. Only God can save us from the fallen horde. And give
Why is it What are you doing here? Where are you heading, laddie?
What's it got to do with you?
Nothing. Well, I was going to warn you. I won't bother now.
Sorry, I didn't mean it. I'm a bit mistrustful, that's all.
And that makes it all right to jump down my throat like that?
It's just I was attacked here recently, and I only just got out alive. Sorry.
All right, then. I can understand that. So listen to me. If you don't want any more trouble, if you're headed towards the Rock Tower Pond, make sure to avoid the abandoned barn.
What barn?
There's an old abandoned barn not far from here. Some vagabond is camped there. On the booze from morning till night. Right nuisance he is. I tried to have a word, but the bastard came at me with an axe. That's why I warn passers-by, so they don't come to no harm. God only knows what that bloke might do.
Thanks. I'll keep it in mind.
Pray for a quick death, you bastard!
Useless! What did I do to you?
Don't cause any trouble, got it? Sheathe that weapon immediately. You see? It didn't even know your stuff, even with a skillful in you. You sorted that wee ball bag out good and proper.
Bastard stealing a horse!
Quick!
God!
Go!
God!
What the fuck is this supposed to mean?
Hey, lad. What do you want? Come here. Are you deaf or stupid? Or both? Sakra. Good to see you, lad.
Really? It seems to me I'm in your way.
Ha! Not at all. That poor fella didn't have anything interesting on him. But you might.
I'm almost as poor as that dead man there. I was just robbed of everything I had.
Well, that's some bad luck. Losing everything twice in a row like that. So, what'll it be?
Why do you think that poor wretch is lying there? He was a friend. They robbed us both, but I managed to save myself.
Really? It just so happens I know him. He was a local, unlike you. So I reckon you're lying.
We didn't know each other very long. But with God as my witness, I'm telling the truth.
Enough! Either you hand your things over to me, or I'll take them myself. Fuck you, whoreson! You want to try me? No chance.
Dead. And robbed of everything, just like Capon left him. And there's no trace of Mutt. There's something lying over there. I hope it's not Mutt. Oh, a nice bit of venison. And something took a good bite of it. Could Mutt have been here? Mutt's nowhere around. Someone must have taken him in. It's not far to the herb woman's place. Maybe I should ask her whether she's seen him.
it off. If a guard sees you armed, there'll be trouble. Damn it, be careful with that weapon. There, I see you're reasonable after all. Will you
Has something happened?
My daughter, Pavlena. Remember her? She was here when I was healing you two.
I remember. What's wrong with her?
She's missing. It's not like her to be wandering around like that. She goes to Troskovitz to sell baskets, but she knows I can't manage on my own, so she never stays away for long. These old eyes of mine can't see nothing much. Pavlena has to take care of me. She's a good girl, that lass of mine. I'm very worried about her. You understand? What if something's happened to her? God forbid. I can't look for her myself, but you could. I know I'm asking a lot of you, but I've no one else to turn to.
All right, good wife. I'll try to find Pavlena for you.
Thank you, Henry. If I was you, I'd ask in Troskovitz. That's where she was heading last time I saw her. And if she arrived, someone must have seen her. And you can look in the hut in her place in the loft. She keeps her things there. My old legs ain't up to climbing stairs, but you might find some clues there. Hey, you've no... What are you loitering around here for, you vagabond? Do you want me to report you for breaking and entering?
I apologise, ma'am. I feel just awful about...
What are you playing? Not a chance.
You know what? Be on your way.
Do you want to get the guards involved?